Hello. All right, so perhaps the main or most dominant contributor to a lack of access to range in the shoulder joint, especially getting underneath the bar or being able to get authentic overhead position without having to flare your lats out like this, being able to have the ribs down and be able to still have access to overhead. A lot of people are restricted. And it has all to do with kind of what we do day to day, cell phones, computers, and all your meathead buddies at the gym constantly doing pecs and biceps and shoulders, and they're all super tight like this, but they can't move. Why? Perhaps one of the main contributors is going to be lack of length or lack of access to length in the pec minor, and more than likely underactive serratus and trap 3. So first thing we're going to address in this video is the tight pec minor with a drill that I call a dumbbell lying iso. So a lot of versatility with this one. We'll start with a flat position with a set of dumbbells. And let's start with a hook lying position, or basically feet up on the bench. Why? Because like I said before, you have to understand that this, with my ribs flared and my chest up, sternum up, is much different than this. So when I'm laying on the bench with my feet down, I have that extension, and we're trying to gain more access with a neutral rib cage and neutral pelvis. So if I go hook lying, I can maintain more of a neutral posture with ribs down and pelvis neutral as well. What are my dumbbells? So all you're gonna do is you're gonna be in this position. You're gonna take a deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, just go into a fly. You're just gonna kind of hang out here. And you're gonna find certain areas and spots that are tighter than others, and our subconscious neurological kind of reaction to tension is to shy away from it. Don't do that. Find that tight spot and get into it. And when you're in that spot, just kind of explore the range. And what I want you to do is use breathing. So I'm letting these dumbbells just pull me into length. And I want to focus on nasal breathing. And watch as I exhale. I'm going to work with the exhale in through the nose. And watch my hands and my shoulders during the exhale. Just a nice slow exhale. Breathe again. Exhale again. And you can see as I work with that breath cycle through the exhale, it's a whole Golgi tendon apparatus, muscle spindle relationship, but basically my nervous system is allowing these muscles to relax and grant me access to more range. Now you can do it flat, you can do it on an incline, you can do it in a regular fly position, you can kind of come up overhead as well. You're probably going to find more tension overhead. Just running through some breath cycles is a great way to get that to open up. One more thing to add. Different applications of this same movement for, say, pre-exercise as a primer versus post-exercise. Now, I wouldn't want you to go through like a 2 or 3 minute round of just lengthening and relaxing before you exercise. Yes, you're going to have access to more range, but not for the reason you want before you exercise. You have access to range after a long bout of that position because the tissue is relaxed, and because it's relaxed, it's therefore lengthened. You would like to have access to more range because the tissue is instead primed and ready to do work. So a slight modification you can give, whatever angle you're at, however you're doing it, rather than just relaxing. So the one that I just showed you, maybe 2 or 3 minutes of just constant breaths to gain more access. You can do the same thing before you exercise, but after a couple breaths, when you have more range, I'd like you to do kind of just like some ballistic pulses. Get a little bit of movement in there to kind of get those muscles ready to perform and ready to do work rather than just relax. So pre-exercise, maybe a couple 30 to 90 second bouts. I'm just exploring the range with some inhales and exhales through the nose. And a couple rounds of that will grant you more access and function before you train. And then after you exercise, at the end of your workout, I'd recommend the previous example where we just cycle through breaths, maybe set a timer for 2 minutes, and leave your workout lengthened and relaxed. So the combination of those two applications of the same drill can be super effective, positioned pre-exercise with the ballistic pulses and post-exercise with just exhaling. As far as how much weight to use, there's a delicate balance, a fine line, and you'll find There'll be a given amount of weight where it's kind of too heavy for you to really just relax and allow access to that range. You have to kind of flex against it. That's a bit too heavy. So if you have, say, a 12.5 set of dumbbells and you find, oh, it's kind of too heavy for me to relax during that exhale, go a little bit lighter so you can have access to more range. Once you can hold the dumbbell in the lengthened position for 2 to 3 minutes in that post-exercise stretch, then maybe you can increase load over time. That's a way to progressively overload this drill. So again, ballistic action to get the muscles primed pre-training versus just an extended period of time in that length and range, cycling through rest cycles post-exercise to improve flexibility, all right? Lying dumbbell isometric. Enjoy.